Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Heron's Haven podcast here on the SoFlo Soccer channel. My name is Matt, season ticket member since 2020, former employee and volunteer of Inter Miami since 2020 as well. I've studied sports journalism in college, worked for various sports teams here in South Florida, and here to bring you all the news, takes, and analysis of Inter Miami on this channel. So, welcome in. Today, we are talking about Inter Miami's game against Toronto, round of 32 in the Leagues Cup. We are Sweet 16 bound. Um, so yeah, no, it's very, very exciting. It was a great win last night. We're gonna dive into the starting lineup, how we played, what I think we should improve on, because there was a lot of goals to be scored. The final result was 4-3 for Inter Miami. Lots of goals, lots of assists, lots of penalty kicks. So let's jump straight into it. So yes, we are around 16 bounds. I did say in the past that I would have preferred to play Toronto over Pachuca because the winner of that of Toronto versus Pachuca would have played us. We were automatically hosting because we were the higher seed, and yeah, so I definitely said that I would rather have faced Toronto because they are a familiar opponent. We've recently faced them, we played them, and we beat them 3-1. It was a good game last time out, and I think it was as just as about the same this time around. Only just a couple of differences. We did have a really, really good start to this first half. Slowed down a little bit in the second half. We were very, very tired by like the 70th minute mark. We were very, very exhausted. But we're gonna dive into that real briefly. So let's take a look at the starting 11 first, and then we'll go over the goals, and then we'll talk about player performances and see how Inter Miami have actually adapted throughout the game, despite some bumps that they faced along the way. So we'll jump into the starting lineup here. It was a 4-3, very typical, very standard. Um, I didn't get it completely right. I almost got it right, but um, Toto and Tata Martino wanted to go with this. So we have Drake Callender in goal, with the back four being Jordi Alba, Martinez, Aviles, Chelo, and Gant, Redondo, Sergio Busquets, and Gressel in the midfield, Diego Gomez, Luis Suarez, and Matias Rojas up top. This was a lot different from what we saw on TV or in FootMob or any other app or whatever you used. This is how they formed in during the game, like actually in real life, and not what they showed in the graphic in the beginning of the game. Because in the graphic they showed Gressel right wing, Matias Rojas center mid, but Matias Rojas was really hugging that wing spot, and Gressel and Redondo were kind of being the two really attacking center mids. Um, in this formation, in this tactic. AC Leonel is already here. I appreciate you I appreciate you being here so early. Let's go Spain. Yeah, I know they're playing right now. I know they're winning 3-1. They're beating France right now in the Olympics in the finals 3-1. I was watching it for a bit, and yeah, I had wanted to but obviously we have to get on the live, so we're here to talk about it in Miami. But no, yeah, no, I'm really happy that I really don't want France to win. So I'm really happy that Spain are winning right now. I don't know if the game is over, but I don't know if the game's over. I don't know what the score update is, but the last time I saw it, Spain were winning 3-1. But oh my gosh, they got a 3-3? No way, they were actually made a 3-3. Are you serious? Oh my gosh, it is 3-3. They scored two in the last 10 minutes. France scored two in the last 10 minutes of the game. Now they're waiting for extra time. It was a penalty kick in the 90 plus third minute. Well, that's a good Olympic update. I appreciate that, Adrian. That is insane. I had no idea. I literally stopped watching it because I'm like, okay, the game's over. It's like it's 3-1. There's 10 minutes to go. That's actually insane. Wow. But yeah, no. That's actually insane. So yeah, maybe we'll talk about that maybe at the end when we're done when we're done analyzing and talking about Inter Miami. We'll track back and we'll talk about France versus Spain. But yeah, but this is the lineup that went with, and honestly, I didn't mind it at all, right? Like I knew for starters, I knew for a fact that Diego Gomez was going to be making that start in the left wing position, right? I knew for a fact he was going to make that start. I knew he was going to bench Robert Taylor. I said it in the preview, despite what other people thought. Um, I assumed that Matias Rojas was going to keep his right wing spot and move Gressel back into the midfield. Messi is like almost back, so he'll probably be back at the end of the month, if not sometime next month. And so maybe he wants to kind of adapt Gressel into that midfield role more of as an attacking mid player. But I'm not sure. It's kind of Gressel was really really good on that right wing, and I really like him on that right wing. But it's going to be interesting seeing when Messi comes back, and then we're gonna have Gressel, Matias Rojas, and Messi available. Don't know if Gressel is going to be able to keep his spot for that much longer. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm a really big fan of Gressel. I've been a big fan of him since the beginning. But we'll see what happens with that situation. But yeah, I knew Gomez was gonna start. And Toto Aviles at the center back position, I just automatically did not like. Right. I mean, regardless of the fact that Cello is starting over Ian Frey, that I think we can all agree with. Like we can all agree that Ian Frey is a much better player than Cello and Gunn. But Tata Martino has his reasons for playing cello, and whether that's for the safety of Ian, just not risking any injuries, and being very wary about it, or whatever his reason is. But yeah, it's cello is the guy, and even I don't know. Whatever the case may be, Cello is his guy for some reason, and that's fine. But El Toto Avila starting, I automatically just was like hating on it hard. I was hating on it heavy. I didn't like it. I was like, dude, like this guy has been the most inconsistent defender, like or probably the most inconsistent player that on this team, regularly starting these games, and the fact that he's continuing to start was stupid. But at the same time, I thought I'm like, okay, well, this is against Toronto. This is against a worse team than us. So maybe El Toto Aviles could regain his confidence and probably get back into pretty good form, or get into good form in general. Honestly, agree. Welcome Del Morva into the chat. Sorry if I missed your text. Ace Leones says I would have started Bright for Redondo. So I was just gonna get into that, right? So what we could talk about that in just 1 second. Why is Cello starting? That guy is absolutely horrible. Joe Racco, absolutely no chill in the chat. Yeah, so I mean, like obviously, like I said, like Tata has his reasons, right? He has his reasons for playing Cello over Frey. I don't know if that's because of the injury reasons. If they would accept my media credentials, like that would be the question I would ask, that and so much more, honestly. But um yeah, I don't know. But honestly, I'm glad. No, I'm not glad because I'm actually, dude, I'm kind of all over the place. Let me get back on track. Let me get back on track. Let's talk about the defense. We'll talk about the defense. Let's talk about how they performed, right? We'll go into the performances straight up. So we'll start off on a high note, right? Let's start off with the high note, a good note. Jordi Alba, man of the match, round of applause. We need to give Jordi Alba a round of applause. 4 assists, 4 amazing assists. Just typical Jordi Alba. And I 100% agree with that. If there was any other player that would have deserved probably man of the match, it would probably be Matias Rojas for scoring those two absolute bangers. But Jordi Alba, he was absolutely everywhere on the field today or last night, and he 100% deserved man of the match. The fact that he's still doing it at his age, it's honestly unbelievable. So he's literally all over the field. He was playing strikers at point, like after like late in the game. He was literally playing like left wing, left striker, and he was really getting up there. So huge props to Jordi Alba. Really great game for him. Martinez. Martinez with that freaking red card, man. Both Martinez and Chelo, we have to talk about them because they both did extremely idiotic decision making, like absolutely idiotic decision making from both Chelo and Martinez. And I mean Jordi Alba as well. Yeah, no, Ace Leonel, you have a point. What's Jordi Alba gave away that pen as well. So, but Jordi Alba's was different because he actually made an attempt to play the ball. Like it was like I feel like it was more of a genuine attempt. It was more like the penalty that Jordi Alba stopped was more threatening than the Chelo penalty. The Cello penalty was just straight up stupid. Like, I got so pissed off at Cello Engant for just him sticking his foot out like that because there was just no reason for it. There was no Toronto players in the penalty area. It was full of Inter Miami defenders. There was zero chance of maybe they would have gotten a shot off, right? But there was zero chance of this resulting a goal. And the fact that he had to like just stick his foot out like that and trip him for absolutely no reason, it's very poor decision making. So it's very frustrating to see that on Chelo's behalf. Same thing with Martinez. Martinez, I mean, for both Jordi and Martinez's situation, for Martinez, we'll talk about Martinez because his resulted in a red card. Martinez's foul was also very stupid, right? Like breakaway, like he got absolutely beat by the attacker. I forget who the attacker was. I think it was the number 99. He got absolutely beat by the attacker. Martinez saw that he got beat, gets frustrated, and pulls the Toronto player down by the shirt, resulting originally it was a PK yellow card. That should have been a PK red card, if anything, because it was denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity without any intention to play the ball. That's an automatic red card, regardless if it's in the penalty area or not. So he got lucky that that wasn't also a penalty kick, but the referee brought it back outside. He showed them the red card. Now we were down a man, and this is like the 30-minute mark. So very, very stupid. And this is the second week I think that we've had Martinez at the club. He's already getting a red card, already making a stupid decision. I mean, like if he didn't make that decision, could they have scored? Yeah, sure, maybe. But like at the same time, now we're down a man for 60 minutes, and they almost scored from that free kick as well. So I don't know. It was just a horrible situation for Jordi Alba. The Toronto attacker looked more one on one, so he went in for the ball. He attempted to play the ball, resulting in a penalty kick. I think he was shown a yellow. But yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation. There was three instances where the three instances where it could have been a penalty kick. Two were given, and we got a red card in the third. It was just absolutely insane how Toronto scored 3 goals, but they were all from penalty kicks and an own goal. So like they haven't scored a proper goal last night, but they literally almost tied it and brought it into penalty kicks. But yeah, it's so stupid. There is no defensive Miami team, only attacking and no use of brain. Um I was gonna say like this was a very it was a very attacking minded tactic, a very attacking minded formation. Redondo's fault for not pressing. We can almost never win a game comfortably when the attack is spot on, the defense is disastrous, and vice versa. And I was just gonna comment on that. I thought the attack was very spot on. So like the defense was in shambles, in terms of their decision making, in terms of just everything. I thought we did well, but like if you look at those like mistakes aside, like if you take those mistakes and put them aside, the defense was okay. Like it was very very mid. It was nothing crazy, but I thought the attack was a lot better. We were very threatening on the attack, and we could have easily scored more than 4 goals. Um, in the midfield with Sergio Redondo and Gressel. Gressel was extremely quiet in this game. Sergio, he would have to draw back, obviously, for the red card for Martinez, and then it resulted with like these four. Like this was actually, hold on, if I can I made a graphic here. This is what the formation looked like after the red card. So it was these guys, these four midfielders. Bright came on as a substitute for Gressel because he was extremely quiet throughout that entire game. And honestly, we needed a more defensive minded player than having Redondo and Gressel, who are just two midfielders that literally joined the attack, with Rojas and Gomez on the wings, right? Um, Ian Frey should have started. No excuse by Tata to keep Chelo. And we 100% agree. I don't think there is a single Inter Miami fan on this planet that agrees that Chelo and Gant is better than Ian Frey. Like, I don't think anybody thinks that. I think every Inter Miami fan agrees that Ian Frey is a way better right back than Chelo. The only problem, apparently, Tata Martino sees Ian Frey as a center back more than a right back. So maybe that is why we haven't been seeing Ian Frey take that starting right back role often. But it's stupid because he is like he can play right back. Like he plays right back well. And so the fact that Tata refuses to play that, or refuses to play Ian Frey in that position just because he doesn't see him in that role is just a completely stupid and idiotic reason to not play a player in that position. Like if someone's good in that position, play him there. It doesn't make any sense for you not to play someone in that position just because you don't think he is. Like with Noah Allen, he sees Noah Allen as a center back, regardless of the fact that he's like 5'8" or 5'9". And I have no hate for Noah Allen. He is a local guy. He's from Pembroke Pines. He's 20 years old. He's a young player. He's part of the youth system and came up from the academy. But like he could play a wide center back. He could play on the width because he has that pace. He has the quickness and the agility to um to track back. But he's gonna get beat in the air, in the physical game, in the air, like in the aerial game, every single time, like all day, every single day of the week, 24/7. So I don't know. Yeah, the Ian Frey thing, it's always very, very questionable. If Ian Frey was in the starting lineup, we have won 6-0. Possibly, possibly. I mean, like it is very questionable how Frey just doesn't, but he has his reasons. Tata has his reasons. I don't know. No way, Lotata would never use Frey as a center back before. That's what I'm saying. We've never seen him being. Oh no, I think he did once. I think he did one time. But regardless, for some reason, like they see him as a center back. If he does see him as a center back, I still like don't see why you shouldn't play him as right back if he does play well in that position. But anyway, um, I got sidetracked there. We were talking about we talked about Jordy, we talked about Martinez, we talked about Chelo, we talked about Noah just now. Um, we talked about Toto Aviles. This is probably Aviles's one of his better games. Like this was probably Toto Aviles one of like his better performances in recent games. So and then he pulled like a hammy or something, and that's caused the substitution for Noah Allen. Um, Busquets in the center back role. Busquets in the center back role is like bad but good. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's bad because he exposes like I think that resulted in the penalty kick. Him playing center back. I think it was at that moment. There was a moment where um we were down a man. It was the second penalty kick, the one that Jordi Alba conceded. Sergio Busquets bit too high, leaving so much space behind him, allowing the Toronto attacker to get him behind. And, and that's happened very often in this game. That we would leave pockets of space behind the defense. Sergio Busquets would be a culprit of that. Aviles would always be the main culprit of it, but Sergio would be the one that would be found in like no man's land because I guess they just don't want Aviles to push up anymore because Sergio Busquets was playing a lot more aggressively, he was playing a lot more high up, I guess, to get more involved in the midfield. But on defense, he would get caught off his line, leaving a lot of space behind him, and then giving the Toronto players, that opportunity to get in behind. So I don't know, but Busquets as a center back is good, but I feel like he's not good in the way that we're supposed to be playing it. If that makes sense. I don't know if any of that made sense. Allen is not a center back. Tell Tata Martino that. Like, because literally Tata Martino has said in press conferences that he sees Noah Allen as a center back. He said it in press conferences. Here, let me move my face to like up here so your chats don't like block my face. Busquets. Oh, I guess I can move it like in the middle here. Okay, Busquets as a center back is good if we play a low block formation, but that's not going to happen. Like that's just not how you play soccer in the MLS, and that's definitely not how you play Inter Miami ball. Like that's not Inter Miami ball at all. So I 100% agree with you, Rocco. Like I think that's what I was trying to say because Sergio Busquets is good in the center back position, but not in the way that we've been using it, and not in this tactic, not in this formation, not in this style of play. And so if Tata wants to adapt or wants to, build that kind of style of play around Busquets playing center back, sure, then by all means, but that's not going to happen because they're not going to build around the sole purpose of Sergio Busquets as a center back. Because now we don't have Martinez for the next game, but having players like Aviles, having players like Ian Frey, like Martinez, and even Freire and all them, even though they're not available, having them for the future, you don't want to just solely base it off Busquets to play a low block. I don't know. Maybe you should. I don't know if you should. I don't know. Allen and Busi as center back against Columbus, Ohio. No, yeah, against Columbus Crew. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. They're playing tonight, so that round of the League's Cup is being played tonight. So we're going to see how they play properly in this competition. Busquets as a center back against Columbus, because let's be honest, I think Columbus is going to be the team because it's going to be Columbus versus Sporting Kansas City. Columbus should be winning that game. They should be winning that game. Whether they do or not, it's up to, they should, I don't know. The last time Columbus Crew played Sporting Kansas City, Columbus won 4-0. But in their head-to-head, Columbus has only beaten Sporting Kansas City 4 times. They tied 4, and Kansas City has 10 wins over Columbus. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's Sergio Busquets as a center back against Columbus or whoever it is. Even if it is Sporting Kansas City, probably won't end up well. Bright off the bench. Right off the bench, I think it was very, very good. Like as a substitute, bringing him off the bench that completely changed the game. If you want to look at that, um, he completely changed our midfield. Having that defensive support, you can see I rewatched the game today. You can tell in the body language from Tata of him trying to change the formation after the substitution with Bright, telling them to be like two holding midfielders. And then it completely changed the game, like switching to like that 4-4-1 type of formation. Very, very, it was very, very solid. Bright, when I saw that Bright actually didn't start, when I saw him on the bench, I was so confused. I was so extremely confused because it's like, dude, Bright has been on fire. Bright is literally probably the best defensive center mid that we have at this team. And he brings a lot of structure to our team that Busquets doesn't do, that Redondo doesn't do, that Gressel doesn't do, that Benja doesn't do. So Bright brings a lot to this team that more than what people realize. And him being paired with Sergio, even Redondo, I think it's a great like midfield, because I think if Redondo can use his lengthiness and his pressing and his, okay, who would you rather have the third center mid be? Rojas or Gomez? Because I like to go. Gomez, I thought was good in that left wing, but I thought he was absolutely dead by the 70th minute. Gomez was absolutely dead in the 70th minute. So if you were to play a double pivot of Sergio Busquets and Bright, what is the rest of the team looking like? Because if you're going to play, El Toto Aviles is probably not going to be playing in the next game because he pulled a hammy or something after he tried clearing a ball. So it would probably be like what? Ian Frey and like somebody else. And oh shoot, my camera's about to die. That's great. I have another battery at the ready, but now I'm gonna have to fix that. Yeah, Ian Frey, Kritsov, Sailor. I don't know if Sailor's still available because he wasn't brought onto this team. But are you gonna play Noah Allen at the center of acquisition? Like, so if you're running the double pivot of Bright and Busi, do you want to play Redondo as the third center mid? Because we kind of need an attacking mid, or do you want to play Rojas there or Gressel? Bright need to start. What's up, Dan? I'm telling you, Bright. Hold on. I'm telling you, Bright needs to be our starter. Redondo isn't cutting it. Redondo plays a different role, though, but I understand what you're trying to say. Bright needs to start 100%. 100%. He's earned that starting spot. Bright made a world made a world of a difference. I think you try to say world of a difference. Agree 100% and must start the next game. Bright, if we don't start Bright next game, I think we're going to absolutely lose the midfield battle. Bright not starting in the next game is going to end up losing, like costing us the game. And if you don't put Bushi as a center back, right? And let's say you just play him at CDM with Bright being the other pivot, who's going to be your attacking mid? Gomez, Rojas, Gressel. You're going to need somebody. And whether that's because Redondo is like a box to box. Same thing with Benja. Benja could be like an attacking midfielder with a box or like a box to box, whichever one. Those are like the only two that could probably get up and down the field now like that because Rojas is not going to do it. And I don't think Gressel will either. So it's either between Redondo and Benja. So you got to choose your poison, pick your poison, I guess, right? Bray Bucci and Rojas as our midfield. That's not a bad midfield. But then who's going to play on the wing? Gressel? You would want to see Gressel play in the right wing because Gomez playing like as a central attacking midfield because like Gomez would cut inside into those midfield areas, right? Like he would cut inside and play like at a center attacking midfield role at times with like Jordi Alba occupying that left flank, and it would work out. Like it would completely work out because like the defenders would gravitate towards Suarez and kind of just leave Gomez alone. I don't know if that's just Toronto being stupid. You know what's worse than Allen and Busquets combo? Kritzhoff and Busquets would be disastrous. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's we're in a tough spot. We're that's the best way to put it. We're in a really tough spot defensively. Um, and seeing Busquets and what's it called? Busquets and Kritzhoff or whoever else could actually occupy that is probably gonna really, really hinder us. Unless if he puts Ian Frey there, I don't know I don't know how Ian Frey is gonna play as a center back. Probably well, but he'll probably get higher up the field as a center back, playing as like a ball playing defender, or even like a libero, like a segundo volante type of role, which is essentially what Sergio plays. But I don't know. It's gonna be very, very challenging to see what we can come up with because if Martinez didn't get that red card, I think we would have been in a better spot. But now the fact that Martinez is out and Aviles is probably not going to be playing in the next game, who is going to be our center back partnership? I think that's like the main thing that we should be worried about right now. Because the attack is going to be the attack. The attack is probably going to stay the same with Suarez, Rojas, or Gomez, or they probably will do Suarez, Rojas, and Robert Taylor, and then they'll probably put maybe Rojas, Bright, Sergio, or Rojas, Bright, Redondo, in the midfield. Or they can just probably keep it the same. I don't know how that is going to line it up, but however, it's going to be very, very interesting. I'm going to change the batter real quick, so I'm going to just put this on display so you guys can see that. It'll be 2 seconds. It says Redondo and Chelo could lose their spots if merit counts in Tata's mind. Redondo, I don't see his spot getting lost. I see Chelo. I can definitely see his spot getting what's it called? Like him losing his spot. I could definitely see that. But Redondo, I don't know. I'm not sure because I feel because who do you consider a better player, Redondo or Benja? Here, let me switch this now. Yeah, who would you consider a better player, Redondo or Benja? Because we're gonna need somebody like Rojas is playing better on that left or on that right wing than he's ever like. I hated on Rojas a little bit because he's been very consistent. I think maybe because he was playing in that center mid role, but him playing on the right wing, he's been playing better. He's been playing a lot better. So And Gressel like has done like the opposite. Gressel being moved back to right center mid, or even no, he played left center mid this game. He played left center mid. Redondo played right center mid, and they both pushed up. Gressel just looked quiet. He looked invisible. And I don't know if that's because he just hasn't like Gomez and Rojas has been taken over, and Jordi Alba and Suarez, like and all these guys have now are taking over and creating the opportunities now. Because before Gressel was on fire, he was crossing, he was getting the assists, he was scoring goals. He was he was literally creating these opportunities, creating these chances, and now he's definitely gone quiet, and it could be because these players have come back. Our midfield was bad. What's up, Skrilla? Our midfield was bad. Gressel cannot be in the midfield. With Bushi and Redondo, we got no legs. Yeah, no, essentially, Gressel can't play in this midfield with Bright, with Redondo, with Bushi. I don't know. I can't see it because and it showed right with like I said with Rojas and Gomez being the wingers, with Suarez being back in the team. Um, Even with Jordi Alba, like Gressel is having just he's becoming more and more of a ghost, which sucks, right? It sucks for Gressel because he's been absolutely popping off for us. And now that all these players are back and he's been moved back to the center mid spot, he's just disappeared completely. Bushi and Christoph were a disaster against Cincinnati 6-1. Yeah. So imagine how it's going to be against Columbus or whoever the next opponent is going to be, Columbus or Sporting Kansas City. I'm just assuming it's Columbus. Gomez needs to stay on the wing. I hope Sporting Kansas City win today. We're gonna see. Yeah, no, they play at what 7:30. Like yeah, they play at 7:30. So they play at 7:30. I'm gonna watch that game. I'll probably talk about it on Discord or on the YouTube community tab, um, wherever. Because we have to scout our opponents, guys. We have to do scouting on the opposition. So we have to see. Hopefully, we'll see how they play, and we'll see. And then we'll talk about it in the preview for in the next live stream. But Skrilla saying that Gomez needs to stay out on the wing. I agree. I agree to an extent because Gomez did well, really well on that left wing spot. Really, really well. I loved how not only him staying on the wing, not only did I like him staying on the wing, but I liked how he was able to cut into central areas and still be threatening. So him playing like he cut into central areas a lot. That's how he scored the first goal or his first goal, our second goal. He cut in. Jordi Alba was taking that left flank. Gomez cut in. The defenders gravitated towards Suarez. Gomez had the time and space to put it bottom left. And so him playing as like an inverted winger could help a lot. So, but yes, no, I do agree that like him playing on that left hand side is very, very dangerous, very, very, very dangerous, very threatening. So hopefully he can stay on that spot. And Robert Taylor, I knew he was gonna get a starting spot last night. I knew he was gonna bench Robert Taylor because Robert Taylor's form has been it's been on the downhill, unfortunately. But so I knew he was gonna get the bench. Like I knew he was going to hit the bench, so I'm glad that Gomez was able to capitalize on that opportunity and have a really really good game. Redondo is better at passing, but Benja is better moving with the ball. Benja, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember now. Benja, I feel like is better on the attack. I'm trying to think. Redondo, I feel like Redondo playing defensively just doesn't work sometimes. He gets higher up the field, and I feel like it's better for him to get higher up the field. And Redondo is lengthy, so he can pressure their defenders really well if he wants. For Benja, he's a bit of an engine. He likes running up and down the field. I feel like he does turn over the ball a lot though, most times. I mean, like I think Redondo's kind of the same. I don't know. I have no idea. Midfield instead of Redondo could be Bright, CM, Gomez, Gressel. Wingers, Rojas, Taylor, Suarez up top. Taylor has been very, very inconsistent recently, though. And Gomez has had an amazing game in that left-hand side. So I think Gomez is going to keep that left wing spot, play maybe a more central role. If anything, I think the reasoning. This is what I'm trying to think in my head, right? Let me see if I could pull up that graphic again. The I think the reasoning behind this was well, okay, well this is switched around. But I think the reasoning behind Gressel playing left center mid, because he was playing left center mid, was for Gomez to cut inside into the central areas around here, and then Gressel filling in that space. But the problem was that Jordi Alba would make the overlaps already. So that left Gressel just like kind of in a higher area here with Gomez right here. So Gomez, I think Gomez for sure is gonna keep this spot. I think Matias Rojas is gonna keep his spot. Obviously, Suarez is gonna keep his spot. Redondo's probably gonna stay at that right center mid. Don't know if Sergio and Bright is going to be in the midfield. It's very, very difficult. If anything, just fucking bench Sergio. Just bench Sergio. Play Benja. Play Benja with Redondo. And then play. I don't even know who you would play on D. Like I'm still like so confused on who our center backs are going to be. It's probably going to be Sergio, to be honest. It's probably going to be Sergio and maybe Ian Frey. It's probably going to be Sergio. Well, I don't even know if he's going to play Noah Allen. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Spain 4-3, minute 111. There is no way. There is no way that um that's so oh wait, no, Spain 4, France 3. I thought it was France 4, Spain 3. Okay, well, so Spain took the lead again. That's good. And the 111th minute. Jeez, guys. We need to hope that Spain wins. Redondo good in the press. He is good in the press, but he just needs to be better in his position. Yeah, fair. I like Redondo on the press. You bring up that's a good point that you brought up, Scarlett. Redondo on the press is really good. Like it's dangerous. Like there were moments in the game. I don't know, like if you guys caught it, but I rewatched the game today, this morning. Redondo on the press is dangerous because he's lengthy. He has long legs. He can get to the ball very, very easily, and it catches the defenders off guard. He's taller, he's skinny, but he has like him on the press is dangerous. Like he's really, really good, and he can win those balls back. He can get those interceptions, he can make those tackles. But he just has to improve overall in that position. And we don't have a better center mid than Redondo. Redondo is our best center mid with Bright, and that's it. Like and Sergio, but Sergio's not. Is probably not going to play in the midfield in the next game. So our third center mid would probably have to be Benja because Gressel's not cutting it unless he completely changes and plays like the game of his life in this round of 16. But I don't know. I already pulled that up. Benja as well as Ruiz are great substitutes, bringing tons of energy box to box. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't been feeling Ruiz. I haven't been the biggest fan of Ruiz. That could be a hot take. I don't know if I'm just being a hater right now, but I am not a big fan of him. As of recent times, I've not been a big fan of him. I think I think Benja is a great substitute. I think Benja off the bench is great. I don't know, but definitely bringing that energy, bringing Benja on as a substitute when he did. I think it was in the 80th minute. Definitely helped our midfield. Had a lot of energy. He, like I said, the little engine, the little motor. Ruiz, I don't know. The problem, I just don't see Tata Martino starting. Like, I don't see a world where Tata Martino builds a midfield. Benja, Bright, Redondo. I don't see it. I see Gressel left mid or left center mid, Bright, Redondo, with Sergio Busquets and maybe Ian Frey center back. Is Ryan is Ryan Sailor still an option at center back? To my knowledge, yeah. For some reason, he wasn't brought. Like, he wasn't called up for the team. Zero clue why. Because I think he wasn't a bad option off the bench. He played very few minutes for us this season, almost nothing, I want to say. But I feel like the times that he did come off the bench, he wasn't that bad. So I'd rather have Ryan Sailor come off the bench than Kritzov, respectfully. I'd rather have Ryan Sailor come off the bench as a center back over Noah Allen. No disrespect to Noah Allen. I think he's a great player, but he's a wing back. He is a left back. He's a full back. He's not a center back. He can play a wide center back, but he's not a naturally. I don't think he will compete well in that center back role. I want to see Ryan Sailor. I mean, like, he will probably see him. He'll probably be called up because of the fact that we're going to lose two center backs, which is insane. So I don't know. We could see Franco Negri, maybe. Don't think he'll play center back. Highly doubt it. Um, if Kritzov starts in this next game, I think Tata Martino has lost the plot. There's no he can't be that delusional. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can't be that delusional starting Kritzov after everything that's happened. Because he was still delusional enough to continue to start Aviles, um we have Ian Frey on the bench, and even Ryan Sailor has been doing better off the bench. I don't know. I I don't know. I'm trying to think like what Tata Martino would do in this next game, but honestly, like, it's been so unpredictable, and I can't be a Tata Martino hater because we're winning games, right? So it's like we're winning, and I've said this in the preview. Like, I can't, because somebody brought it up. I forget who it was, but somebody brought up about Tata Martino, and how he's gonna whatever, like, play without Messi and whatever. And I'm like, well, yeah, but we can't hate on Tata because ever since Tata joined the club, we've been winning games. And as much as, like, sometimes it's been really questionable, the performances on the field, and maybe we overanalyze or we over criticize these players. But we're winning games. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters, that we win games. So yeah. Let's see. I don't think is there anything else that we have to talk about here? We talked about Suarez, we talked about Gomez, we talked about Gressel, Matias Rojas. We talked about the midfield with Busi, Benja. We talked about Ruiz a little bit. We talked about Redondo and Gressel. We already did that. Getting Bright, man of the match, Jordi Alba. The red card for Martinez, Chelo, Noah Allen, Aviles. Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything. Um, that game, I guess, to try to summarize it, that game should not have, like, gone to the wire. Like, they should not have scored three. The fact that they got into almost three penalties was kind of crazy. That's just really poor positioning, poor decision making on our end. Uh, We could have scored six. We could have done a lot better. So hopefully we make a lot. better decisions in this upcoming game, whether that's against Sporting Kansas City, whether that's against Columbus. They're both going to be tough opponents. And we're going to be playing away from home because those guys were definitely higher seeds than us last season. So we'll see what happens in the next game. I'm going to be doing the preview. I'll probably go live at I'm gonna have to see how it works out because I might do the news because I have news and stuff to talk about. I might do that either in the preview episode or I might just make that a separate episode, or I'll just record a video and make it like a 5-minute video and post it on YouTube. So you know, because it'll probably be very brief. 5-3 to Spain, 120 almost done. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Suarez or Campana next game. It has to be Suarez. It has to be Suarez. And it sucks to say it, but Campana is not he has not been our guy. Whether that's off the bench, whether that's starting, Campana has just not been a difference maker, and he's really been, you know, kind of lacking. And it sucks to say that because I think there isn't a Campana hater that I know. I like Campana. I support Campana and I want him to do well, but he just hasn't been the guy for us. Luis Suarez has been that guy for us. He is our top goal scorer. He's the top goal scorer at the club this season. He is the top goal scorer in the MLS, I'm pretty sure. And he's just been our guy, or one of the top goal scorers in the MLS. He's been our guy. And the only downside to Luis Suarez is that he can't run. But bro, if he could run, he would score hat tricks every game. Like dead ass. Like he would dead ass score hat tricks every game. Like he is so threatening up top that if only he had just the slightest bit of pace, like if he regained youth and was just a little, like if he was like 28 years old, he would be destroying this league. Absolutely destroying. Right? But you know, because of his knees, his ankles, his age, it impacts him a lot. And so you could like he can't keep up with the pacing like that. But he's still very, very, very clinical. He's intelligent, he's a finisher, he's very, very good. And Campana, unfortunately, is not. Not yet, maybe. Unfortunately, I think the next game will be where Miami journey at the Leagues Cup end. You think our journey at the Leagues Cup will end in the round of 16? I don't agree. I think we can definitely actually. Okay, well, I see where you're coming from, and I think you're saying that based off our defensive situation, which makes total sense. It makes total sense because we just lost 2 center backs. I'm getting all these Discord notifications. I gotta mute for a second. Hold on. Do not disturb for like 30 minutes. Yeah. Because we lost 2 center backs in this last, like, yeah, like we could really struggle. We can struggle. Like, if you guys think we've been struggling defensively this whole time, imagine, like, just wait until this next game, guys. We're gonna be fucking. It's gonna be another 6-1 because no Aviles, no Martinez. That we're gonna have Sergio Busquets and Kritsov, or what's his face, Ian Frey and Noah Allen at like center back, or Robert Saylor or Ryan Saylor, not Robert Saylor. Yeah, I don't know. Don't forget the music. Oh yeah, before we end. Yeah, no, of course. But yeah, no, it's been yeah, hopefully we'll see how it is for the next game. Remember the game is tonight. Make sure you guys catch it. We'll get a bit of a scouting report, then we'll talk about it in the preview. So we'll base the preview on that game, the winner, the performances and things like that. I'll see. I forget when our next game is. I forget when the round of 16 is actually going to be played. But depending on the scheduling, I'll record a video, like a 5-minute video about like news and stuff, because there has been some news regarding Inter Miami. So I'll probably make a short video about that instead of going live, or I'll include that in the preview for the round 16 preview. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. Remember, like if you have the notifications on, or I don't know exactly how it works, but I post stuff on the community tab, on the YouTube community tab, and so you guys will keep up to date with, like, you guys can check out like news and stuff. Um, that through that, or you can join the Discord. That is in the link in the description as well, or in my bio. That's the first link in the bio. So if you want to do that as well, like I post updates and on YouTube video about YouTube, Inter Miami, other transfer news around the world. So the regular season is approaching very, very quickly. The transfer window is about to end, and it's very it's getting very interesting. So we're approaching, like, Premier League, La Liga, football. And yeah, no, I'm very excited to cover that. Champions League is going to be starting up pretty soon. So yeah, no, I'm very excited to cover that this upcoming year. So yeah, no, but thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Heron's Haven podcast here on the SoFlo Chalker channel. My name is Matt, your host, and I appreciate everybody for coming out. We are going to be live again for the preview next time out when that day comes. But thank you guys so much for episode. Vamos Miami.